Alright, welcome back everybody. So today, as promised, I am doing a full suspension overhaul. Now, I don't have access to a lot of tools anymore, and that's okay, because I have that guy right there. What's up? He's graciously allowed me to use his nice, wonderful garage and all his tools, because he's just a nice fella. So, we got the car up in the air, and we're installing these bad boys. I got these off of Dale Lepp, and I will put a video or a picture up of his car because his car is absolutely crazy and I love it. But should be a quick, simple install. I've been on new F lowering springs since basically I bought the car. So these are Vogtland Coilovers, fully adjustable. So should be able to get it nice and low, kind of get it stanced out a little bit better because my wheel gap is horrendous. And just like that, we already have the first shock out. It's super easy to do. You got 2 bolts here, and then you got the 1 nut at the top, and then your 1 for your tie rod. And then this is the Vogtland, as you can see, adjustable. So we'll have to play around with this once it's on the car, but quite a substantial difference between the two. And this one actually is severely lighter than this piece. This one's super heavy in comparison. Tape measure.
Right here.
Thank you. So, brand new ones are in. These do have camber adjustment down here. Just for, you know, the fun of it, I maxed out the camber. We'll do the same on the other side, and we'll see how that looks. More than likely, we'll have to adjust it. And we're gonna have to play around with this to see where I'm at.
It ain't got no gas in it.
It ain't got no gas in it, that's correct. I know Dale didn't run super low because of his wheel setup, so I think we'll be all right to just kind of see where it sits right now, and then we'll play around with it more later. All right, so here's the rear setup. This was my lowering spring, the shock, and then the bump stop. And then on this setup, we got the spring, the shock, and then here's the bump stop, which actually has the adjustability on it. So it goes underneath the spring like this, and then I can raise and lower the car as I please. So I'll have to get measurements on this and make sure I got both of them at the same height. And it's pretty simple to take apart the bottom. You got 1 bolt here, 1 bolt that's up there, takes out your shock, and then your spring kind of just pops out from this mount here. And then, as some of you know, I have the DNA adjustable lower torsion bar in the back. So real simple, easy setup, and honestly quite really not that difficult. All right, so we got all this back in place now. I'll take a crawl underneath and show y'all. So here we got the new setup. So old bump stops used to be at the top. The new ones are down here because this is where the adjustability is. There's a little nut down here, yeah, right there, and that screws and holds this in place. So that's all nice and snug. This is all nice and snug back in, and I took measurements of the gapping, and we're at 1/2 inch on each side, so hopefully it should be evened out. I have not done the measurements up here, but that'll be next. Then the wheels go back on, we lower it, roll the car around a little bit, and just to make sure that the suspension settles, and we'll see where we sit. I'm a little nervous as for my side exit over here. I think it might be too low, and I think those might be a little too low as well, but we'll find out. If anything, I can raise it, and then once we fix that, then we can lower it back down, but we'll see what's gonna happen. So the car is back on the floor. The rear is pretty much almost exactly where it was before. The suspension's still gotta settle, but front is definitely lower for sure. I was never this close to the fender. Shut your goofy ass. And so I also maxed out the camber just because, but that also helped me realize very important thing. My toe is off. My wheel is straight, and currently my wheel is angled in. It's hard to see on camera, but you can kind of tell here. which actually means this side is messed up too, and this one's pointed in. So I currently have uwu car, and I got both the wheels pointed in on the front, but we can fix that real quick. We'll just adjust the tie rods. The rear should be fine, and then I'll get a full alignment later on this week. But other than that, pretty simple install.
What the fuck is this?
It's for a coolant tank.
What's going on here?
It's not for
What's
coolant.
your coolant
No,
tank?
this is for the sprayers.
Spray shit. You don't need no spray.
Well, I don't even have it. Look, I don't have the tank anymore because the intake took over the tank. The tank used to sit here.
You know what that means?
Weight
Race
reduction.
car.
Yeah, race car, weight reduction. You know, I really don't need this. I don't know why I plug it back in either. All right, toe fixed for the most part. It's still got to go in the shop. I'm gonna leave the camber in it because why not? We'll play around with it a little bit.
Fancy boy.
It's
You
kind
gotta
of
be like this, boy.
no. We'll see what it does, but definitely the front is way lower. Once this is taken off and all that's cleaned up, and I don't have all this mess, it'll probably look way better. No, I can't. Rear's not bad. I mean, it's still gotta, bro. It's still, we gotta get the whole thing kind of, you know, to settle and everything. We gotta take her for a little spinny boy, but we'll see what it does. For now, I'm super happy, super quick install. It took us, what, only like an hour or two?
Why you not?
No, because I was here right at 2. No. Yeah, we were working before you got here. An hour, we'll call it hour and a half. Look at the dogs. Yeah. Stupid. In a shock, yeah. So, definitely gonna pull the camber out, but for right now, it's okay. We'll get a full alignment when it's done, but it sits nice, it rides nice. We'll let the rear settle down once we get some weight back there. I might just keep the old suspension set up in there just for the time being. That way it kind of keeps that suspension working. And then honestly, it's not that bad. It's really not that much lower. It's just the front that's lower than it used to be. The rear is about the same, but we'll see how that sticks. Definitely gonna pull the camber out. Definitely needs an alignment really bad because my toe was way off from when I got into the accident on this side. But other than that, we should be all right. So looks good. So the next project I'm working on is when I got into my accident, this DRL broke, and then the lights on the inside, the light bulb shattered, and part of the housing cracked in there. So I'm making custom pieces, and I have to get this wiring harness out. So the next video will be me wiring up the whole new harness and everything. Test fitting on that bumper because it'll still fit the same way when I get the new bumper, and then when I get the new bumper, everything will be all kind of clean cut and it'll look really nice. So I'm hoping these lights work out pretty good. I think they will. I just gotta cut these open and discard them. Oh, and I do have, all right.
Don't mind me.
I have stock suspension with lowering springs. If anyone's really interested, I'll throw it up on Marketplace. Someone will probably want it. No, we're not even like $250. Give it to me. I paid basically $200 for the springs, and then, you know, shocks, bump stops. Working bump stops, by the way. They're both in one piece. That's a marvel in a Fiat community itself. So anyway, that's pretty much it for today. I'll put Nick's Instagram up so you guys can go give him a follow. And I will put Hack's Instagram and his business in the description. He does a bunch of stuff, Starlight Headliners. He does a bunch of custom stuff. So if you guys want anything like that, make sure to hit him up. But anyway, you guys have a good night. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and I will catch you guys in the next one.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you.